Okay guys, just a quick video to show you how to solve these. Some people had problems even on your answer sheet, so I want to be sure you know how to do these. These are the derivatives from quiz 1. Okay, number 1, use definition of derivative. Okay, so we know it's a limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h. So in this case the function's 1 over x, so plus h minus the function all over h. Need to put the numerator, put those two fractions together. So I'll multiply this times x over x. So we get x. I'm going to multiply the other side by x plus h. And that gives us x times x plus h all over h. Don't forget it's still a limit as h approaches 0. Most people forgot these parentheses, which means you didn't distribute the negative sign, messed up your limit. Alright, so now we just got to simplify. H goes to 0 and we get x minus h, x squared plus xh times 1 over h. X minus x is 0. You get negative h on the top. You can cancel those. That leaves you negative 1 on the top. And the limit as h goes to 0, there's negative 1 on the top. This goes to 0. We leave negative 1 over x squared. So the derivative is negative 1 over x squared. For the next one, this one was pretty simple. Rewrite in exponential form. Make it a little bit easier. 1/4. Bring the derivative down. Derivative of the inside. So this 6 is going to come out front. They're both going to cancel. 3. Be still a 2 from there left on the bottom. We'll bring this down just to get rid of the negative exponent since it's pretty easy. Okay, next one, another chain rule and a quotient rule. Bring down the power. And 3 over 2 minus 1 is 1 over 2. Derivative of the inside is going to be quotient rule. So bottom, okay, ho. Derivative of the top is just 1 minus high. Derivative of the bottom, all over x plus 2 squared. Okay, looking at the top of that numerator right there, that's going to be x plus 2 minus x plus 1. You rewrite that. 3 over 2 x minus 1 x plus 2 times x plus 2 minus x plus 1, carrying or distributing, and x minus x leaves a 3 on the top. So this whole thing goes to 3. Okay, next one, implicit. 3x squared, product rule. Okay, we need to get the y prime by itself, or the dy dx, whichever one you used. So we'll move everything else to the other side of the fraction. So plus 2 minus y minus 3x squared. So x y prime equals 2 minus y minus 3x squared. Divide the whole thing by x. More implicit differentiation. The same as y, negative 1. You've probably seen how this one resolves out with a negative sign quite a few times. Don't forget your y prime. I went plus sign, that's going to have to be another minus sign. Okay, add. We need to get the y prime by itself, so we'll add 1 over x squared to both sides. and multiply both sides by negative y squared. Okay, let's bump on another 7. Going through these pretty fast, not much explanation, but I hope you guys are getting most of this. Okay, remember the derivative of secant is sectan. So this becomes secant xy tan xy, and then chain rule, derivative of the inside. We've got a couple x primes in here. This is going to get kind of ugly. This is going to get distributed across both of these inside the brackets. So I'm going to call this whole thing Q, just to make my distribution a little bit easier. So to distribute the Q, xy prime plus Q y equals y prime. Let's get my other y prime on the other side. So qy equals y prime plus, let's make that a minus, qxy prime. We'll factor out the y prime from both sides. Qy equals y prime 1 minus qx. And we'll divide both sides by 1 minus qx. And so now we've got our answer for y prime. Just let's put back in our q, which we said was sec xy tan xy. So I'll rewrite that. Y secant of xy tan of xy over 1 minus secant of xy tan of xy. Okay, next problem. Properties of logarithms. Remember, logarithms turn multiplication into addition, move exponents down, and turn division into subtraction. So you can really break this complicated expression into something pretty simple. Of course, remember how these are grouped together, you got to distribute that negative sign. If I would have done this piece by piece, it probably would have been a little bit clearer. Okay, so now that whole thing's broken down with logarithms, and now the derivative becomes pretty easy. Alright, and I'll try, let me see how much time we've got left here. We'll call an end to that one. I'll do the next 7 on the next little video here.